All right, so we are live, and tonight it's gonna be special because tonight I invited my good friend from my time at Lancaster University. Rob Bamber is here with us tonight to tell us about how he turned from poker player for I guess you made a living out of playing poker, right? Is that true?
Yeah. So I started playing. I'd always played a bit recreationally, but I really got into it in first year uni. It's just kind of like something to do in my downtime. Um, and yeah, I just kept playing and playing and watching YouTube videos and getting better. And I was rubbish at the start. I think I lost about 700 quid, something like that. And then I won 10 grand in one night.
Wow.
Yeah, it
It's
was
like it's
brilliant.
nothing.
Yeah, it was brilliant. And then that was it. From there, I just carried on, just playing multiple tournaments all the way through to about just the back end of 2018 when I came up with this idea. And just played online, played live at the casinos. It was brilliant.
Okay. And then you decided to make a change in your life and you became a business owner of, you founded PR Artist, which is a print business, right? If I understood it correctly, it's that you are, you have your portfolio of artists, of course, and those artists create only photographies or also they paint like digitally.
Yeah. So we've got the printers that can do illustrations and paintings and stuff. But essentially, per artist, like I just use one word, per artist instead of PR artist.
Okay.
It's essentially a website in which you can sign up for free as a photographer or an artist, someone that's doing illustrations online. It's a completely free process when you sign up, and you upload your pictures to your profile, and you can charge a markup for them. So essentially, everybody that signs up as an artist on the website, they subsequently get to charge how much money they want to sell the products for in terms of an actual business markup. So, for example, if they choose to have a markup of 20% and they sell a canvas for £10, the artist would receive £2. I would receive the 10 for making it, distributing it, and whatnot, and then the customer pays 12. And then 14 days afterwards, after the return policy is over, the artist will get paid the money to a bank account of their choosing.
Okay. Yeah, really cool. It's nice that you explained it in so many caveats of your business in such a short time. That's very essential. Just to make some remark on that. That very often people cannot explain their businesses in very, let's say, brief way in just 3-4 sentences, and you did it perfectly. So now we will move to the questions that we prepared for you tonight.
Okay.
And I hope you will enjoy it as much as we will. So let's start with the very first question. Zain, would you like to start, please?
Yeah. So obviously, the idea of going from playing poker to making a shift in starting your own business is when I heard your intro, I was just like, oh, this is quite fascinating. But you did tell us a bit of story behind it. But would you mind just sharing people like you play poker, winning 10 grand a night, right?
No, just one night, won 10 grand. But that was
right.
for I can definitely do this for money.
Yeah, so you can definitely do it for money, right?
Yeah.
And what makes you sort of like make a shift and go, actually, I like to go into this entrepreneurial thing and start a business. So what was the thought that goes behind that? Like, why do you choose to become an entrepreneur?
I think that's kind of it's a double-edged question, because I think you've got to have this element of risk taking about you. In my own personal situation, at the time, it was it was needed that I could play poker because of the things in my life, and I like to have a job where I could travel around and be places and be my own. I've always kind of been my own boss, even at poker. So in a way, even though it was just me and everything was dependent on me, I was still just working for myself. Like, I had to put the hours in. I had to play 8 to 12 hours a day. And there was no kind of like boss that was getting me up or telling me I needed to be in at five and end at 2, or 9 to 5 or whatever. So I do think there's that. I got addicted. Well, not addicted, but I got used to working for just me, and I think as well the other position of becoming an entrepreneur was I just was fed up. I was fed up of playing poker. I mean, I played millions of hands, and I just thought there was a new chapter of my life. And my dad's always had his own business ever since I was about 10 years old. And I've watched him. He lived in Blackpool when he was a kid, and he didn't have that much. He's worked for everything that he's got. But yeah, when you see someone go from nothing to the position that he's in now, it's really inspiring to see someone do that. And obviously he's got that in him, and I think I've got that in me as well. Because I don't think you can just become an entrepreneur like if you're a really introverted, less risk taker type mentality. You've got to have this drive in you to go, okay, this might go horribly wrong, but I'm going to gamble on the fact that it's going to go right, and I'm going to back myself.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So my next question would be like, it's not, let's say, obvious transition from being a poker player to printing business, printing industry, right?
No.
So what made you choose printing industry? Like, what was the thought process behind your decision, and also like coming up with this idea?
Well, my dad does actual graphics. It's not the same as prints, but it's wall graphics in terminals such as like Gatwick, Manchester, Stansted, etc. And you'll see them every time you go into a different terminal. When you're leaving a country, you go into a new country, you'll see the graphics on the walls, and there's a new marketing campaign like every 6 to 12 months. Mm-hmm. So he's always been a part of that for a very long time. He even sold that as a salesman back in 2003 for Manchester Airport. So printing knowledge in general, kind of, my dad has that. But I came up with the idea of just doing prints because he'd never done prints as in to sell to customers, mm-hmm. or had the artists. But I just thought, it just clicked in my head one day. I just thought, well, if I want to make a business, which I did in that moment, I thought to myself, what's something that someone would buy? And I was looking around this house. I was down south near London somewhere, and I was in this situation where I didn't really know anybody there, but I was looking around and they all had pictures, and it just hit me that it doesn't matter, where you're from. It doesn't matter what language you speak. It doesn't matter what kind of faith you have, or in terms of political opinion or your economic situation. Everybody in the world has got some pictures on their wall. So I thought, well, that's a good idea for a business. And then I just built on it over time. This website wasn't made in a day. Mm-hmm. Initially, I called it PicSwap because I had a specific product called TFS, which is tension fabric. And you could take a picture out of the wall and put a new picture in. But over time, I wanted to put a light box in it so you could connect it to your lighting in your house, and you could just flick it on. So a picture behind me, you'd be able to just flick that on with a switch. But that didn't actually, because there was a lot of, but once you get into the legalities of these things have to change. Like, you get into the legals, you've got to have health and safety and fire, and what are the batteries? Are the batteries going to be, what happens if something goes wrong? And I think a lot of business, once you set up, is genuinely trying to just mitigate as many things that could go wrong quickly and put a system in place that can solve that problem. And the problem only hits you when it hits you. So to actually to answer your question in terms of what made me choose that particular business, that was when I was in that house. But it's developed so much more than just that original idea since then. All I wanted to do was just sell pictures to people. I didn't realize it would come to the bit where it is, like the artists coming on board and providing the content and making money for the artists as well. And that all came naturally. It just flowed.
Cool. Actually, we're going to come to the problems later, but I was actually going to ask, you don't just do print business, right? You actually involve the artist in the sort of the process, in the business model. How did that occur to you? Like, obviously you started with print, and then now you have the artist involved. So what sort of, you said it naturally just flowed into that, but how did that happen? And that was I was quite fascinated about, because you involve the original creator in the process of the business model. So what sort of prompted you to come up with that?
Well, it was when I was trying to come up with a USP. So I was like, well, you can go to Booths or your local supermarket and get a print. What's going to make me stand out different? Well, I know the quality will, because we've got the better printers and whatnot, and having the experience. But what is actually going to make me stand out, and what's going to get me that traction, and what's going to get me that marketing, and what's going to get me the content? I thought, well, there's a difference between people uploading pictures to they want to print and pictures that I want to sell. And then I just combined the two together, and I went, well, how do I do that? And I've never seen anything out there where people could actually do that. I think there is a place called Display, which is similar, if you've ever heard of Display. But they only do illustrative art, and they only do one type of product, metal prints. So that was the only place I could see where you could actually do it in the system that I kind of wanted it to do it. But it was still, it kind of just came from, I don't know, my imagination, I guess. It's hard to explain how a thought occurred, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so what I'm thinking is that your business evolved from being a printing business to being like a marketplace, and providing, let's say, a vehicle for this artist to deliver their art pieces to people's homes, right?
Yeah. So essentially the artist will sign up to my website for free. So again, this is another thing that I was like, well, who do I know that's an artist? I didn't have a clue. So I just went, I knew a couple of people that were into photography. So I started there. I started with a couple of illustrators. I know some people abroad in Canada and places like that do photography as an actual living. So I started there, and I got my first 10 people, and then I branched out onto all the social media platforms and whatnot of, hi, do you want to sell your work with me? You get to choose the markup, and kind of just explaining the process like I'm explaining it to you now. And it's with the actual process of going through per artist. They just upload the images and they upload the money that they want to make. So the client element, like that's that client symbiotic relationship that I have with them. While at the same time, as soon as they make an order, then I go to the unit and I'll make sure that the print is done, it's well sufficient. I take pictures, I send it to each artist, I make sure they're all right with it. I book it for delivery, I get it to the customer, and then I make sure the customer's happy. Then I make sure the artist is happy, and then I pay the artist. And so this is the flow of the business, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm. And I have two more questions to you related to your business. One is ridiculous and one is serious. So I will start with the serious one. So once someone upload the photography or illustration to your marketplace, to your website, then is it exclusive for your business, or can they also go to let's say, similar business and sell it to them as well?
Well, it's kind of exclusive. It is exclusive, but the intellectual property rights remain the artists. So if at any time they want to go, if any time they want to leave, if any time they want to take pictures down, they're welcome to do so. There isn't a situation where someone can go to a different business right now and get their pictures done on the certain products that we do, because we use a specific print style. We have 4 different types of products. And even if there is that exists, one, I don't know about it as of yet. I know there's something called Pickfair where you can do it, but it's only fine art prints and canvases. But with me, you can choose the markup that you want to make. So like I said, if you sell a canvas for £100 and you've got a markup of 50%, the artist will get the £50. And it's a perpetual thing. It's not like a one-time sale. It's a continuation of sales. So if you are a photographer, it's probably best that you come on my website. A bit of marketing there. Because the thing is you can leave when you want. You know, you upload what you want when you want. You market it as and when you want to, and we'll help you market it as well. And you'll have this one-on-one relationship with me to make sure that everything's, you know, all right and everything's up to date and good.
Okay. And the other question, which is the ridiculous one. So, do you have any verification process of the illustration and photography? Because I was wondering if I can, you know, upload a photography of my amazing beach body, and then people will go on the website and buy it. You know.
I mean, the ironic thing is, Dan, that I've actually already had that problem.
Oh no. What did they upload?
Because obviously when I first started this business, a lot of it was legal stuff. So before I sold anything, before I got an artist, before I'd done anything, a lot of this was legal stuff, because photography, you can't just go and take a picture of someone, or you can't just, you know, the people got rights and stuff like that, and intellectual property, copyright, all sorts of stuff. I've got to protect myself, I've got to protect the artist, I've got to protect infringement copyrights and all sorts of stuff. But someone, I'm not going to name him, uploaded a picture of a nudist.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, oh, well, I can't sell that, obviously, because children could be watching the website or viewing the website, and I have to market it to kids. I can't really market something to children if they're doing nudist pictures. And also, what happens if the nudist is like, hang on a minute, you can't have a picture of me on there. So yeah, there's verification processes which are manual. And it's also not just for that, it's for you'll know yourself owning, you know, like a website, the lag that can come if you don't have your pictures at a specific pixel dimension or megabyte file. The actual logistics behind that, if someone uploads a picture that's too big, it's going to make your page lag. So there's a technicality behind it, as well as obviously the outrageous.
Okay, but regarding nudes on in your, you know, so you like I have an idea, so you can create like a separate category, for example, on 9gag you have something like that, right? So only for adults, and then maybe, you know, I guess the same people who subscribe to OnlyFans account, they can buy, you know, like photographies of their favorite OnlyFans models and put it on their walls, right?
Do you want to run that branch down? Is that what you? Shall I make an OnlyFans for artists and let you in control of it?
We can
give me a discount.
It's a good idea, to be fair. It's a good. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, I mean, it's really complicated in terms of how much I had to really think about this. This didn't just take a day. This took me months to do. As well, the actual website that you see, I designed and graphic designed that myself, and I'd never done graphic design before. I'd never done any designing. I had to learn how to manage a coding team to help me do it. and bug test the website, make sure that it was all running. I mean, if you click on a picture, any picture that you want, you'll see when you click on it, it'll come up with who the artist is at the top. And if you click one of the prints that you'd like it on, so if you like it on aluminium, acrylic, canvas, if you just click on one of those, it'll come to the wall, and you can see how you can pick each size. So you've got like the different types of rectangles that you can pick, and that will obviously increase the size of it. And you can zoom in with the magnifying glass in the top right and see how it, looks.
Oh, that's amazing. That's actually really smart, because very often we, of course, ideally you will have like a Google Lens, and people will be able to try it on their walls actually, what they will be buying. But I guess this will come in your business at some point.
Yeah.
But still, this mock-up is amazing, because very often when we order something like a picture, like a poster, we wonder whether it will fit right within with other things. If you have empty walls, it's not a biggie, but if you have like shelves or whatever, then it makes difference.
Yeah. Well, creating all that, it all just came out of my imagination. So yeah, that's why it took so long to actually get started. It took I'd say about 5 to 6 months. I was going to launch this, and then a week later, COVID hit. Like the first ever lockdown. So I had to wait a little bit, which was a bit annoying. But I mean, it's all right now. Everything's up and running.
Yeah, but after all, it was an online business. So previously, just a quick remark. We had a guy on our guest interview session who started his mystery shopper for gyms business like 1 week or 1 month before the COVID.
Oh, similar time.
Yeah, so he and the gyms were closed for so long, and he still managed to to survive the COVID, and then he got back to work. But my next question is about this magic moments of being an entrepreneur. So so the most exciting or the happiest moment of your entrepreneurial journey so far?
I've done some big sales. So I've sold prints to the executives at Amazon in Doncaster, which was a really good sale. I went and met all the execs, put them on the walls and the canteens, and it was for people that work there, because obviously Amazon's quite diverse in their employee range. People are from Malta, people are from Lithuania, Poland, Sweden, Norway, Romania. And they did a poll of, they just made a new huge bit in the warehouse in a distribution joint. And they wanted to do a thing for the workers to put the prints on the walls and say, thank you for working with us. Here's a bit of home for you as well. Thank you. And it was really nice. It was a really nice thing, because obviously the workers were happy when they saw the prints and get to pick the pictures that they get to see every day, which is a really nice corporate thing to do, actually, from an Amazon perspective. But that was really good, because it was great experience, great to deal with such a big client. And it wasn't just, there wasn't just one person talking to me. There was about 8 or 9 in the room that was asking me a lot of questions. So it was a good experience. I've also done a show literally just this Sunday called Dogtown. So I'm trying to get people, artists in general that are successful, I'm trying to get them shows and actual art galleries as a turn to the online gallery for free as well. So I've just been with one of my artists, Steve, and we just did our first show together, and that's gone really well. I really enjoyed that. That's been an exciting moment, and I got another one on Sunday, which is exciting as well. But Christmas was exciting. At the end of Christmas, on the 23rd of December 2020, it was fantastic, because it was kind of like the business worked. and it was the happiest moment because I got hundreds of sales. I didn't get one negative feedback. Everything went flawlessly, and I paid out so much commission to artists. And they had an extra. Some people had an extra 500, 600 quid. You know what I mean? And it was brilliant to be able to give that to people, because it's such a. That's why as well. I'm passionate about this business, because it's not just about us. It's not just about me. That someone's pursuing their hobbies and doing really well out of it, and also the customers and such are happy too. So it's kind of that additional bonus is really nice. So that was really exciting on 23rd of December last year, when I realised this has got legs.
Yeah, but actually that's what doing like proper business is. You have to provide some kind of a benefit to your clients, because let's be honest, to some extent, photographers, artists are also your clients, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So for me, it's a happy moment when I see that, let's say, with my digital marketing services, my client is making huge sales and stuff like that. So they are earning money. I earn my money. Win-win situation. These are the happiest moments, and I think that every like sustainable business should think in this category, that they should always create win-win situation for all parties involved in the transaction, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, definitely, because it keeps that feel-good factor. It builds momentum. There's no negativity about it. No one's losing. Everyone's gaining. And with that, you'll just see it. I mean, even if you take it away from business for a second and talk about, I don't know, sport, maybe football, if a team is winning every week, every player starts playing better. I mean, you look at Liverpool, for example, and you look at players like Jordan Henderson. You take Jordan Henderson 7 years ago. Sorry to turn into football, but you take him 7 years ago and he was awful. And then as soon as he wins the Champions League with Liverpool, he's winning a Premier League back to back, and he's in the England squad. No one would have said that. And I think that momentum of winning in general in business is the same. That momentum of a win-win situation of making the sales and everybody's coming together in a collective. It gives everybody that boost, that high. It gives them that drive to go that extra 10%. That in the bad times, people struggle to do that. That's the hardest thing, to be consistent when it's not working, when you're not winning. To be consistent then it's the most difficult thing anybody's got a challenge of doing.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So I like the football analogy, because I am a football fan myself. But there was nothing to cheer about for Liverpool fans this last season. But there was something to cheer for Chelsea fans. Yeah, but let's move on with another question. Zane, shoot.
Yeah. So it's kind of relevant, but I was really fascinated when you say something along the lines of how Christmas last year, you've got lots of customers coming, and then you manage to pay out some money to the people who might or might not be expecting that 500-600 quid coming their way, right? Mm-hmm. The thing is, there's so many printing services out there, right? Like you can submit a photo and then it print things for you, etc. Why do you think people come to you to make that transaction rather than going somewhere else? And this kind of links to I was going to ask you this question, like business strategy that I think is working for you, but the fact that you just mentioned that actually you're doing this for the artists, like is it because people think they transact with you that also help supporting a bigger cause to the artists, or why would people transact with you rather than some other companies that do pretty much maybe the same thing?
Yeah, I'd say it's three major things. I'd say the artist is a big one. There's no one out there that is helping actual photographers and artists. That's actually quite a backstabby environment. It's my picture's better than yours. I'm going to trump you. Blah blah. There's no one out there that's helping the individual, helping the artist at the grassroots level, and people going, I can support that artist as well as that business. I think it gives that extra incentive, and it gives me a boost as well, knowing that I'm helping someone as well as, you know, obviously making the money and making money for them. It's something that they're passionate and the hobbies, but the business strategy that comes from that as well is I'm marketing a specific person and specific images that they have. They've got a following as well, and they're marketing the fact that they're with me to their following, and that marketing is fantastic because it keeps the clicks, it keeps the engagement, it keeps the interest, and a new artist every week or every 2 weeks is brilliant because it brings in new eyes, it brings in new people, it brings in new potential customers that would go, oh, I really like her work, I'm going to support her. She then gets the money, etc. I get the eyes, I get to do the prints for them. But this is when we come on to the second point. I mean, not only is that really strong in a marketing perspective, it's also the quality of what I actually make. The diverse range of products of the aluminium, the acrylic, is quite a USP. I mean, a lot of people don't even know what an aluminium print is, if I say that to them, which is, you know, people are like, what the hell is one of them? So when I make one of those and I show it and I give it to people, people are like, wow, this is awesome. What is this, like a new modern version of how to make prints? Because everybody's so used to canvas, everyone's so used to posters. So a lot of the printing companies that I actually am in competitive with don't do those specific range of products, which is a seller in itself. I mean, the aluminium is my best seller, and obviously the acrylic is very pricey, and I give it at a rate that's, you know, not that pricey. I put it at a reasonable markup for myself in terms of which people can afford it, and it's not an unrealistic purchase. But I would say the artist, the quality, and the service. I mean, I go out, I speak to all my artists, I make sure they're all happy, I make sure they're all up to date. When they make a sale, show them the print quality, if anything that they're not happy with. If any of their customers don't get their parcel on time or something goes wrong with the couriers, I'm the one that sorts it. I'm the one that goes, okay, I'll sort that out for you. I get them the second order. There's no worries about it. I keep them reassured. I make sure that they're, like, you know, happy with the service that they're getting and happy with the quality that they're getting. And in return, you know, I market them as well. So they then, that goodwill carries over to the individual, and they go, do you know what? I've made quite a bit of money with him. Or even if someone who's made 1 or 2 sales, for example, they see the effort that I'm putting in with them, they see the drive, and, you know, they help just spread the word and spread the message, because marketing, as you well know, is expensive. It's the most expensive bit. You're basically gambling for these 50, 60, 70, 80 quid Facebook ads or Instagram ads or Google ads that you're going to get an ROI on that. And when you're starting out, that's just not realistic in terms of like actual dollar value. You've got to build a specific, you know, customer base first. Doing that is really expensive, and I've found a way by doing this and giving the service and giving the quality and, you know, giving this artist link. That's my USP to try and minimize the cost of getting that initial base.
So to simplify it to a certain extent, like your marketing is heavily based on the word of mouth to some extent.
Yeah, the best form of marketing. I have made specific marketing campaigns, such as you can join as an artist. I've made videos. I've made how we actually manufacture the stuff videos. I'm making a video now about the shows that we've just gone to with each artist. But I mean, that word of mouth marketing is fantastic because, like you said, there's thousands of print companies out there. What makes me so special? And it's the same with everything. There's thousands of everything out there now because of the internet and the opportunities that we all have. So what makes you so special? You've got to find people that, you know, trust and support you, really. That's how you get yourself out. It's not just you, it's the community you build.
One of the things that you can do, I believe, maybe you are already doing this, but I just you know, it just came to me right now. So what about you know, Facebook or Instagram lives with with the new artists that are joining your portfolio. So once they join, they will, do it like for, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, and let them introduce their their products, their portfolio, so that people know that, oh, there is something new in the
Yeah.
portfolio of the company. So it's and it's nice to listen to the artist. It's nice to listen to the creator of this piece, because then they will connect with your product, with the artist, on emotional level, right?
Yeah,
So
no,
that,
it's a good point. I mean, we do posts for each new artist that comes on. So we do post and we share it about, and we get as many people to share and like it. But yeah, live video. The only problem is some of my artists aren't from the UK.
yeah, okay.
I've got, I mean, obviously I could set something up like this. But some people are from, I've got people from all sorts of places, Canada. I've got someone that's just come on Tuesday from the Philippines, literally yesterday from the Philippines. So it's okay when it's the UK. Definitely a good idea there.
I wanted to ask you one thing, because you mentioned about all the activities going on with your business, but I understand you don't do all these activities on your own, right? You have some people working with you on it, or not?
No.
You do everything on your own. I mean, marketing, packaging, printing, and stuff. Or do you?
When I've got too many orders, there are some people that can help with the printing. Yeah. But with the marketing, now that you said that, for the past month, I've just got a new guy in that does some of the posts, and I pay him per post. So
Okay.
that is a new thing. The past 6 posts have been him, so he's taken over the Instagram and the Facebook, and he's just developed Twitter. Actually, he's actually really good. I'm really getting on with him. That's kind of my first employee style.
But once he fail, you can outsource your marketing to some friendly agency.
Well, we'll see. But yeah, no, I mean, most of it, yeah, I do myself.
Okay, cool. So another question that I would like to ask you is that, what is a lesson that you have learned during your entrepreneurial journey, and then you took this lesson to your personal life? So something that you have learned through being an entrepreneur, and it changed your personal life.
I'm not actually sure. Maybe resilience is a good one. Made me quite resilient. I've always been patient, you see. I've always been patient.
Okay.
And I've always been diligent when I feel like I should be diligent, if that makes sense. So when it comes to diligence, I can work 24-hour days if I have to. But it's only if I feel like it's a clever idea to do that, if that makes sense. If I feel like I'm benefiting from it, then I will do it. If not, then I won't. But maybe resilience, yeah, because it's not all going to go your way all the time. You're not going to have every day is not going to be a great day. So you've got to be consistent. Like, it's like anything. A lot of people today want instant success. A lot of people today want everything now. A lot of people don't want to work. Well, it's not even that they don't want to work for it. It's that they don't want to go through that bad period like I was talking about earlier. It's like the negative connotation that society might just chuck on them is going to, it outweighs the benefit of seeing through a bad scenario and getting through it and then reaping the benefits and the rewards later. It's that in itself is really resilience, and I think that's really important. So I would say that, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's a bit deep, isn't it?
I love that.
No, that's really good. Like like, you know, on many things what you said today, you know, I resonate with it. So for example, the thing you said about your father, you seeing him coming from nothing to something, that's also part of my story, you know. The thing about being resilient, being patient, understanding that that instant success happens to only one in, I don't know, million people who tries. Unfortunately, because you know, these instant successes are more glorified than those you know, hard worked, uh, patient, you know, successes out there. You know,
Yeah.
so you know, when people ask me about, you know, like, that's also a pressure from our surrounding, you know. At least I have it, you know. So in my family, it's like a question of, okay, Dan, so how's your business going, right? And I'm like, you know, it's going good. Like, I make a living, I make something extra, I can go to music festival and stuff like that. So but it's not like I can, you know, I don't know, go and you know, splash money on some stupid shit. But to some extent, that's what they expect from me. Like, they expect from me that if I'm an entrepreneur and I graduate from great universities, then I will become like amazing entrepreneur in just 1 year. But I understood that I need to go through the process. Like, but I'm still in the good place, you know. Like, Jeff Bezos hasn't started his business until he was 30. uh, Gary Vaynerchuk hasn't recorded his first video until he was 30. So, and I did all those things before I was 25. So, you know, of course, there are some moments of self doubt that, you know, oh, I'm not in the place that I would like to be in. But then I remind myself that hard work, be consistent,
Yeah.
keep on working, love the process, love what you do, and eventually you will get there.
Yeah, I like that. And also, I think what you just mentioned about being patient, I think that's the message that really landed with me. And I think, you know, we're all kind of similar ages, and that's something that I've recently
You are
learned as
all the
well.
same.
I'm older. Yes, I'm older. Okay, I'll admit I'm older. I said similar ages, similar. Um, but yeah, I think that's something, that's a lesson I've been learning as well, which is how, and Gary Vaynerchuk talk about this a lot, right? Which is how do you deploy patience in this whole process? It's like, obviously I want it tomorrow, but it ain't gonna happen tomorrow, you know. So, but if I hinge upon, you know, the thing being successful or not in it happening tomorrow, then it's never going to be successful because it's not going to come that easy. And it's like you have to keep reminding yourself that, you know, what you just mentioned there, just like, wow, having the patience, be willing to go through the bad period, you know, that's the way they describe it. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what we need to hear. I was gonna ask like one piece of advice. I actually think, you know what, that's actually a great way to to end there. I love the message. I genuinely do.
Yeah,
Good.
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you'll hear a lot of wishy-washy in terms of, oh, you know, you just believe in yourself and all this generic stuff that you can listen to any Arnold Schwarzenegger motivational video that just before you go to a gym session or something. But like, let's be real, not everybody is gonna wake up in the morning and be like, yeah, let's go, I'm so happy with where I am and let's do this. No. When you're thinking about that, you've got to go, okay, well, I just need to grind that thought out and be consistent and show up. It's like you're not going to get a personal best every day. You're not going to get a personal triumph every day. You need to grind, and you've got to turn up. You got to be professional, and you got to smile, and you got to act good. and you've got to make sure that you go in there and you give it the best that you've got that day. And it's just about keeping that going, because all these people, it's just like with the instant successes, even the ones where it's like 1 in a million or whatever, we don't know how many videos they did before that 1 in a million video hit, or we don't know how many tries that they did, or how many thoughts that they've had, or whatever. It's just we only measure the success by how we see it and visualize it, and the senses that come to us, and we go, okay, that is success. But I just really doubt that there is anybody out there. I mean, unless, apart from the people that found the gold mine in LA about about 100 years ago, like, apart from them, like, there's just really is nothing. You've got to work for it. But I don't just mean that as like a generic term, work for it. I mean, work for it in here. Like, turning up and grinding is the easier bit. The manual labor bit is the easy bit, especially when you like it and you're passionate about it. It's making sure you're ready in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, Dan. Go on.
I just wanted to say something irrelevant, maybe to some extent irrelevant. Some information that I have learned today. So, have you ever heard about Euro Jackpot, one of the biggest lotteries in Europe? So there was a winner in Poland a few days ago. He won like 40 million pounds, more or less. And guess how much tax out of this award he will have to pay?
50%.
10%. And guess how much you have to pay tax in Poland for your hard work every month?
Well, it depends what bracket you're on, surely.
Yeah, but at least 17. That's the minimum,
Yeah.
tax percentage. So the thing is that how I wanted to connect it to entrepreneurship is that entrepreneurship is not about winning lottery tickets. There are many challenges out there that you will have to, go through. You will have to find a way how to omit them, how to overcome them, and you should think about it as as a hard work, not as a winning lottery ticket.
Yeah, because it makes you a better person as well.
Yeah, and just the last point I want to make was, you just mentioned about, like, the whole motivational stuff, like, oh, just believe in yourself, etc. And I do all that. I love it, right? By the way, I love all those things.
Yeah, they're great.
There's a I'll call a student, right, that I coach now for quite some time. And when I went to give some talk at university as well, some of the people just asked, like, oh, how can I find motivation? I was like, listen, mate, like, if you can't find it, you can't find it, right? The whole point you're asking these questions because you go, oh, this person wakes up like, oh, today's an amazing day. You do all these things. Like, I don't wake up like that. I wake up and thinking, oh, can I sleep for another 10 minutes? And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, not everyone's going to wake up like that. And you're just going to be okay with the fact with, like, that's who you are. But if you're not happy with it, then obviously you can change it. But don't give yourself the pressure of, I have to do this, I have to do this, because then at the end of the day, you'll just beat yourself up and go, oh, I'm not good enough. And you start telling yourself all those bad messages and go, okay, what is the best thing that I can do today to make the most out of the day, etc. Just everyone's different. And I think that always goes back to, like, oh, everyone just sees that thing, right? And I told some of my friends as well, they're like, oh, wow, this looks like this person is doing a good life, etc. I said, if you want to become that person, you better make sure you take on his or her shit as well, because you can't just take the good part. You have to also take the bad part. But the bad part, you just haven't seen it yet. So, but it's a great conversation. I don't think we've done an episode that long, Dan.
I think the episode I think it's close to the longest episode, because I believe that the episode with Evgeny and Panos was more or less the same length. I think we even went over 50 minutes. But thanks a lot, Rob, for joining us tonight, particularly knowing that you are very busy lately with your business, with your personal life. So we extremely appreciate your participation tonight. It was really I really love inviting guests like my friends. I don't mean saying that your guests are not
No.
interesting or something. They are extremely interesting, but I love to invite my friends because I always have good laugh with them during the interview, and I think that's what a good interview is about, to have a good laugh, to have some serious talk, to find a balance between those things. So thank you for your wisdom, thank you for your positive energy, and we want to wish you all the best in your business, and hopefully we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, sure, mate.
Yeah, and for people who are watching, let me just swap Rob up. Yeah, there we go. So go check out Rob's website over there. Go support him, buy some prints, give it to friends and family. You know, go make his day. I can't find your Rob. Do you want to say what's your Instagram or Facebook so that people can follow you if they want to check you out?
Robert Bamber.
Ah, you just gave it away. He
Yeah.
might not want to share it.
Okay.
You could just follow Pro Artist as well if you want to follow Pro Artist.
Yeah, just search Pro Artist, right? That's the website, but go support him, show him some love and support. And obviously, if you enjoyed the episode, then go follow us on Instagram as well at the Newborn Hustlers. Hustle the right way, the newborn way, you know. Yes, you work hard, you grind, but also make sure that you look after your mental health. You don't get stressed out, don't get burnt out, or go kill yourself, all those kind of horrible things. We do it the right way. Cool. That's the end of it, right, Dan? Have I missed anything?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
anything?
that's it. That's it. We are done for here.
Cool, wonderful. Rob, thank you. And everyone watching or listening, have a great day.
Bye, and speak to you next week.
Cheers.